All right, so today we're going to talk about creating value with pencil shading. I'm going to show you some techniques to help your objects appear three-dimensional. So you can either download and print this worksheet right here that has the four forms on it. If not, you can simply draw your cube, your cylinder, your cone, and your circle to make a sphere. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So before you begin, I like shading with a wooden pencil. Some of you may have a mechanical pencil, but I prefer wooden because I can turn the tip to its side and shade a much larger area. So before we begin shading, we need to look at where our light source is. So at the top two figures, the light source is going to be on the left side. So for my cube, you have one that's already shaded for you if you got the handout. So since my light is hitting the top of my form, I'm going to lightly shade it. And you can see how I've got my pencil turned. I am going outside the lines a little bit. That's fine. That's why we have an eraser. And for my face over here, that's facing you, the viewer, we're going to create a medium tone. It's very important that you are consistent. And I will even go back and shade this darker side that's not getting any light. And I think I'm going to go back over this face. Now, if I want a darker value, I'm pressing my pencil down harder on the paper. If I want a lighter value, I'm easing up. And of course, clean up. And there we have it. So we've got three different values: a light, a medium, and a darker value. The darker value, the shadow we see, is over here on the opposite side of my light source. So let's take a look at how we can shade the cylinder. So same way. I'm just barely pressing my pencil. And I always like to start off over here with the shadow. And I'm not going to go as heavy as I can, in case I need to go back and darken later. And as I get closer to my light source, I'm going to ease up, not use as much pressure, so that I'm barely shading. And I might create just a little bit of shadow on this edge. And I think I want to make my shadows darker. One thing with pencil shading, we can always go back and add, but it is a little bit more difficult to take away. So basically, I want this smooth transition from dark to light. Some people take their finger, they can smudge it, a tissue. I always like to just kind of add more graphite, basically the pencil. And kind of lightly shade over so that I have that smooth transition. So let's take a look now at the two bottom forms. We have the cone and the sphere, and you can just watch me shade the cone. Got a typo. Okay, last we have the sphere here. Okay, so I have, of course, my two bottom shapes, The light source is on the right side, therefore my shadow is over here on the left. So we're going to keep that same strategy. So for my sphere, to make this, give it that rounded effect, we have to shade accordingly. And it's almost like we're going to be making kind of a C shape. All right, so you see I kind of have the C shape or crescent moon. This is going to help give this circle a sphere-like appearance. I always like to start off with the shadow. I'm furthest away from my light source, so now I'm just going to continue adding my layers. And as I get closer to the light source, I'm going to keep gradually getting lighter. All right, so I've got a good start here. I just want to go back and fine tune it a little bit. Do not forget to shade in your cast shadow. And if you want to go back and add a shadow for your other forms, you are more than welcome to do that. All right, so again, continuing this, make this smooth transition. So I didn't go that heavy with my shadow, so I'm going to go back now. And kind of add some more shadow in. And basically try to get that smooth transition. All right, so there you have it. I think I'm pretty much finished with my forms. You can take a look at the cube, the cylinder, the cone, and the sphere. Good luck with your pencil shading techniques.